This is Secret America.
Welcome, everybody. I am Jack Danger along with Jay Gatling. And apparently, the deadline has been moved, Jay. I guess there's some kind of a deal. From what I heard, at least from what I can see, Trump is offering this deal, but it has not yet been accepted by Iran. And I personally don't think they're going to. There's two things. One, I don't think they're going to open the Strait of Hormuz. And two, I don't think Trump could do these bombings, because if you want the truth, Jay, I think that the Democrats want him to do these bombings because the second he's out of presidency, they will put him in prison. They're looking for any little reason to put him in prison, and the things that he's saying are not helping him.
Well, I did a little bit.
Has always been their problem, man. Always.
Well, listen, people always wanted mean tweets, didn't they? And now all of a sudden he's giving mean tweets, and they don't like.
Well, this is more mean tweets. This is the threatening of the genocide of a civilization. You know?
I think that's hyperbolic, and here's why I'll tell you it's hyperbolic. It's saber rattling, and I did a little looking into this. People are war crimes. No war crimes were committed by President Trump. The only war crimes that were committed today were by Iran, when they directed their civilians to stand around targets. That is a war crime. Just directing them to do, just directing them to do so.
How's that a war crime?
They're directing civilians to act as human shields. That's a war crime.
Well, unless something happens, then it's not a war crime.
Yes, it is. Just directing. I just looked it up. I made sure. Just directing them to do so is a war crime.
According to who?
According to the Geneva Convention. That's a war crime.
Does anybody follow that anymore?
Well, I'm just telling you what it is. So if they're going to accuse President Trump of a war crime for saying they're going to not be civilized or he's going to blow away civilization.
No, that's not a war crime either.
It's not. Now, also, when it comes to targeting energy or bridges or both, they need to have a dual function. So he can't just go and target a power plant that supplies electricity to civilian homes. It has to have a dual function of somehow supplying, say, a radar station or powering a missile production plant, or a bridge that isn't just a civilian bridge, but a bridge that can be used to move supplies or move troops or whatever. Those are the things that can be targeted as dual targets. They have a dual use.
Yeah, but the reason he's doing this, Jay, he keeps saying it, right? But he's moving the target.
Jack, I'm just getting breaking news.
Yeah, what is it?
Iran's leadership accepts 2-week ceasefire proposal.
So are they opening the strait? That's the most important thing.
Listen, if they're not opening the strait, there's no deal.
That's why it's the most important thing.
100%.
They can accept anything they want, but if they don't open the strait.
To me, if they accepted it, that means they're opening the strait. If they don't, well, I guess they're going to get bombed, because the president would never even have accepted anything without the Strait of Hormuz being open for ship traffic, free and clear. There's just no way. That's the whole thing here. So, but again, I think everybody, I understand this president. I kind of give him a lot of leeway with what he says, because I get how he operates. Maybe it's because I'm from New York. I get how he thinks and how he operates. He always, though, Jack, and people accuse him of a lot of things, but don't you notice he always gives somebody a chance to come to the table before he says, you know what, enough's enough. He always does.
And I have no problem. I've always been a Trump supporter, but and even if I just don't, I guess it's his messaging, and always the messaging. That is the problem with the Trump administration. The messaging.
I don't think the messaging, I think the messaging from him is his messaging. The messaging from Republicans in general is terrible. We agree on that. I think
his is not much better. Pam Bondi sucked. The whole Trump administration, if they had better messaging, could you imagine if they had a better PR person or whoever the hell tells them, whatever it is? Because I don't see Trump actually, on his phone, putting out tweets. I think he tells somebody what to say. Could you imagine if they had a better PR person doing that?
Well, that is how it does go on. I remember during the convention when Kamala Harris, they showed President Trump during the campaign while Kamala Harris was up there at her convention speech, and she said thank you about 37 times. He was speaking to somebody, telling them what to write as that were going on. So I do think that's what it is.
On his T-Mobile sidekick, texting on Twitter.
I think he probably has somebody by him 24/7, Jack, and it might rotate shifts, obviously, that, hey, I want this out, put it out. This is what I want to say. And he probably says it. It could be you or me. And as he's speaking, we're going like this as he's, putting out a truth. So, yeah, that's probably what's going on. But the messaging from President Trump himself is usually effective. Whether you like it or not, whether people get offended by it or not, it's effective. The Republican Party or people in his administration that try to be him, no, nobody, Jack, here's the thing. Nobody is as good at being him. You can't be him. He's a once-in-a-lifetime figure. Nobody else could get away with saying some of the things he says and still maintain his popularity with his base. It's impossible. So we're dealing with a very unique situation here with this president, with how he puts things out, how he, really pushes the envelope like he did today with that tweet or truth that he put out this morning.
That was pushing. Yeah, that was pushing. I wonder, though, has this whole thing been a bluff? Because it seems like every time that this happens, whether they come to the table and do it or not, it's always pushing the deadline. Because I'm telling you, and I know why. Because if he actually did these things, the Democrats would throw him in prison the minute he got out of jail. Whether it's a war crime or not, it doesn't matter. They would find a way. They'd say, hey, he destroyed civilian infrastructure. He did this or that. They are looking for a reason to throw him in prison. So he has to be very careful about what he does and says, because it's clear. It is clear they will prosecute a former president.
Oh, 100%. I think he knows that. Here's the thing. I respect the fact that I think he knows that as well as you and I do. Jack, they'll try to impeach him or throw him in prison if you didn't tip the pizza guy the right amount. I mean, they're insane. So we know this. But I kind of respect it even more that he's like, I'm doing the job that people elected me to do. I'm ending this 47-year scourge once and for all. I want this done. He's been saying it for 45 years, Jack. If you go back to the interviews from 1980, Donald Trump has been saying this about Iran, that I don't think they should ever have a nuclear weapon. He said when our hostages were taken in 1979, we should have went in then and destroyed them. He's been very consistent on Iran. So when people go, no new wars, no new wars. Well, if you've been listening to the man for the past 47 years, and even during his campaign, Iran will never have a nuclear weapon. The intelligence he was given was that they were close. People can argue, oh, they've been close for this long. They've been close for this long. That's what he was given. The intelligence that matters to me the most, Jack, is not the nuclear weapons. We could argue about that, whether they were close, whether they weren't. They had 60% enriched uranium, which you don't need to run a power plant. We know what that's for, right? It's to make nuclear bombs. Now, when Marco Rubio comes out and says that the real issue here was their drone program was at the point where if this wasn't handled now, we would have had no choice in order to stop them from becoming nuclear at whatever point to going in on the ground. That's how advanced, that's how many drones they would have had. This was like the one window to try and go in and take care of this now without having to have a full ground invasion to do it. That's what matters most to me. I don't know. How do you feel about that?
I mean, it's it's something that needs to be done, but at the same time, I don't know. It's kind of dividing everybody, and MAGA is not really MAGA anymore, if you want the truth. It's kind of like a set of different factions, It's no longer, it's not even like the Democrats, they're all united by one thing, which is hate. They can all unite around hate. But when it comes to the Republicans, each Republican has their own specific things that they want. So that's why there are separate factions. There's not one. Now, Trump was the one single thing that united every Republican together. But this war is something that a lot of people, and you can call it an operation, you can call it whatever you want. Yeah. But this war is the thing that is dividing a lot of people. First, it was the Charlie Kirk thing, with Erica Kirk and all that stuff. And we could go into that at another date because I got my own opinions on that shit. But I will say that.
Wait, you do? I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. I've got my own opinions on Erica Kirk. Don't even get me started. Don't get me started.
No, I'm teasing. I know Jack has his own opinions on that, and so do I. We will get into that at a future date. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. You damn right. Okay. So I forgot what the hell I was saying. Now I'm pissed off at Erica Kirk. I'm just kidding. No, what the hell was I talking about, JC?
You're talking about how Charlie Kirk was one of the things that divided the MAGA coalition.
Yeah, so the division on the right started with the Kirk thing. Honestly, I think everything was going well until that point. Then there was division on the right based on who they actually think killed him, this and that, because I don't think anybody in the world believes Tyler Robinson was a lone wolf man like Lee Harvey Oswald. I just don't. It's just the odds of that are very slim based on what happened. but let's say that's why people were divided first there. But then this war divided everybody into separate little factions now. So you got the Tucker Carlsons and the Megyn Kellys and the Candace Owens. You've got the Laura Loomers. You know, you've got other people that are just all. I mean, there are people like you that are, you know, all for whatever Trump does. And then there are people that, you know, are upset about the war because they say it's a genocide or whatever. Then you got people that are upset about the war because they say they didn't vote for it. And then you've just got so many different factions now in the Republicans that there's no way to unite them. And let me tell you, and I'm just being 100% honest here, we are looking at a landslide loss in the midterms if things don't change soon.
You know, it's interesting because a poll came out, and I think it was even on CNN yesterday, that said that the Republican approval is actually very good right now, considering it's about +5.
I don't know what that means. What do you mean +5?
Their approval amongst voters is +5.
What does that mean?
It means that people actually aren't negative against Republicans in Congress or Republican Party as a whole right now, even with everything going on. They're just not.
+5 sounds close to neutral, though.
Well, but here's the thing. You would have thought it would have been way underwater. And I think they were saying it's actually a pretty good position to be in.
Who the hell do they poll? I never get polled in this shit.
I never get polled either, but I'm saying it's a CNN poll. And you know CNN would love to put anything out negative they could against Trump or Republicans.
Oh, yeah.
But
I just don't know who the hell they poll.
Here's the thing. I see people can disagree with how this was done or when it was done or whatever, or you could just be totally against it. I disagree. I think this had to happen. I think it has to happen sooner rather than later. I think my question has always been, once I really did the list of all the things that Iran has done to America, our service members, our civilians.
Hasn't the imminent threat of weapons of mass destruction been like the reason we go to every war?
Different situation. No, they have actually been a forced. They've killed Americans. They've killed hundreds of American service members. No, but over the years. So I was always wondering.
Doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, why did we never do anything before? Every president kicked the can down the road. The road. Why now? I think that what I just said about what Marco Rubio said, and I said people can disagree about whether they're close to nuclear weapon or not. It is not really up for debate, the fact that they do have 60% enriched uranium, which is...
He supposedly destroyed all of their nuclear sites.
It's buried. The uranium is buried.
Which takes years to build.
Which a lot of it, they said, was moved. And that was another thing that came out. They said a lot of it did get moved before those bombs came down on Fertile and those other two installations. But that's fine. We could argue about it. People could debate that. What Marco Rubio said about the fact of their drone program and their ballistic missile program is, to me, more concerning because, like I said, Jack, we think that eventually they want to make. Is it up for debate that Iran wants to? This regime, the current regime we're trying to eliminate right now, is it really up for debate that they want a nuclear weapon? That's not up for debate.
But let's talk about it like this. They have. I mean, we destroyed all their nuclear facilities. They said it'd take another 2 years to rebuild, right?
Okay.
What is the point?
But we don't want them to rebuild, Jack. We want it ended. The problem is they were rebuilding. What's going to end it? The only thing that's going to end it is killing every single one of them. That's right.
So you're telling me you want to kill the whole country?
No, not the whole country. All this regime, all these mullahs, they have to go.
They will always be in control.
Maybe not. There's a new regime the president said he's been dealing with who seem to be, quote unquote, more sensible people. Now, again,
that's always the case. Look at Libya. It's always the case.
In order to really change the country, Jack, and I was just talking about this, the people of that nation, and you see how they want to rise up and they want to live a better life like they did probably before 1979 when we on our program showed what Iran looked like before the mullahs took over in 1979.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, they destroyed the country.
They destroyed the country. So the people that are there are millions of them that want that life back. They want that's
the other excuse we use. Either it's liberation or it's weapons of mass destruction.
Well, listen, I want this leadership out. This has to go. Now, if this is a more sensible regime that takes over, that says loosens up some of the freedoms on the citizenry, and then they start to screw up, maybe then the citizenry can actually act and take over. I don't know. I don't live there. You don't live there. All I'm saying is this. There's no doubt that the Iranian regime wanted a nuclear weapon. Those are the type of people that can't be allowed to have such weaponry because, as we know, they think that if they blow people up, or they don't believe in the mutual mass destruction, the reality of a mutual destruction, Jack. Like,
can we be real here for a
Russia
second?
knows that if they fire on us, we're going to destroy them. China knows that. North Korea even knows that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Iran doesn't care about that. They actually,
and yet they have never done anything to our mainland. Let's.
What if they had the capability? They would. That's my point.
Oh, let's be real here for a second. We know why this war was started.
I don't know. Okay? I don't know that.
Yo, you know it.
You know
it has a lot to do with Israel. You know it does.
Well, hold on. And there's another thing.
I'm not anti-Jewish at all. And I'm not talking when I say Israel, I'm not talking about the Jewish people. I'm talking about the Israeli government.
And here's the thing.
Specifically Netanyahu.
Well, here's my thing. I noticed that a lot of that rhetoric has died down recently, that all of a sudden President Trump, he was being dragged around by Netanyahu. He's his puppet.
He still is. Have you seen what Netanyahu said? He said that this is not going to end until he says it ends.
That's not what he said. That's not what he said.
Jay, by the way, you know when they were going to do the ground invasion with Iran, America was going to do the ground invasion? They were talking about doing the ground invasion. Israel said they're not sending any of their people.
Listen, Jack. I noticed that rhetoric has died down. I don't hear people saying, where's Netanyahu negotiating this deal? It's President Trump and us negotiating this deal. We are in control of this. What goes on? We decide what gets bombed. We decide what doesn't get bombed. And Deborah, I was alive in 1979 and I was a young person, but I do remember that. And I do remember
revenge for... You want revenge for the 70s, but you don't want revenge for what Biden and all them did. We're more worried about revenge in Iran than we are than what the hell just happened the last 4 years. Is that what we're talking about here?
No, I think that's apples and oranges. We could want revenge for both things. I think we could want revenge. We could walk and chew gum at the same time. I think those two separate things that we could want revenge. And it's not just 1979.
But it never happens, does it?
I am sick and tired of this country that, basically threatening us with the death to America and the death to all our allies and the death to everybody else because they don't like it, because they think that their way is the only way. And if we don't like it, we need to die. I am sick and tired of it. I don't want them to have the capability, because if they did, they wouldn't hesitate to use it, because they don't care about mutual self-destruction. Jack, they think if they get killed, they're going to see 72 virgins. These are psychopaths. They're zealots. They're lunatics.
That's
they
fine.
Are not
and that's
people.
Not just them, though. That's many countries. There are many countries that are like that. But let me say, we've had the nuclear capabilities since what? The 40s. Okay, you're telling me this entire time Iran couldn't have had nuclear capabilities if we wanted to? We haven't done anything to Iran, but they could have had nuclear capabilities this entire time. Why all of a sudden are we worried about it?
I don't know. I think we've been worried about it for a long time. It's just nobody ever had the balls to actually finally end it. We've been kicking this can down the road for 50 years, Jack. 50 years. And these people need to be
And nothing has happened. They don't come to the mainland at all.
Not Jack, like I said, if they had the capability, they would.
But they've had 70 years. Why don't they have the capability in 70 years?
You've seen the country, right?
Then why would they have the capability now?
Well, they've been getting it. It takes a little bit longer for them to do it, but they're doing it. That's not up for debate. The fact that they don't, we know they have enriched uranium, 60%. That's not.
They haven't had that in 100 years.
That's coming from the UN. No, apparently they haven't. We know now they have centrifuges. They've been financed by China, financed by Russia. We know this. So at this point, this needs to end. If you notice today, a resolution was put out to open the Strait of Hormuz. I think Bahrain presented to the UN, which is useless, the UN. And Russia.
I know. What the hell are they going to do?
Well, Russia and China vetoed that resolution to have every country help to keep the straits open. We know why Russia did that. Right now, oil was through the roof in Russia. That's how Russia makes their money. We also know that anytime they could stick the thumb in our eye, they're going to do it too. It is what it is. We do the same to them. But my thing is, Jack, this had to come to an end. We have a president. This isn't inconsistent. He said it his whole life before he was president, and he said it while he was president, and he said it while he campaigned.
Actually, I have many quotes where he said that Biden was going to be the one to get us in a war with Iran. I have many quotes where he said we should not get into a war with Iran many times.
No, but hold on.
Many times.
He said they cannot have a nuclear weapon. That's what he said.
No. He said many times that Biden was going to get us into a war with Iran. And that we should not go to war with Iran.
I'd like to see those exact quotes.
I will show them to you just right now.
I would like to see, and I want the full context of what he said about Biden.
I will give you the entire 8-hour speech.
No, not the entire 8-hour speech. Not today. But listen, again, you can disagree with this. People can disagree with this, but I just don't want people to think that this is just out of left field and this is out of nowhere, and it's not.
If you hear his previous rhetoric, it kind of is.
It's not.
Totally I will show you.
I totally don't think so. I don't think it is. It's just very consistent for him what he said about Iran for a long time.
No, he might have said he might have said the nuclear weapon thing, but I'm talking about the war thing. He said Joe Biden's going to get us in a war with Iran. We should not go to war with Iran. Those were his words.
Let me while you're doing that, yeah, I'll take a look myself as well. I'll look too. I'm open to looking and getting everything.
The hard
all
part
out there
though is now trying to find that. All this stuff is like from now. Everything you look for is from like right now. It's hard to.
Hey, I'm gonna put. I'll just put it in. President.
It's hard to find previous shit.
Trump's.
Yeah. I mean, when I put it in now, I see like stuff that's from the last week or two.
Hang on. War because of Biden. Let me see if anything comes up. Hold on.
Yeah. See if you can find because even the Biden stuff seems like recent shit that they're showing me now.
All right, here we go. Blame key Trump statements. And I put it into Grok. And all I said is this. I'll give you the question. President Trump's statements on Iran, war because of Biden. And Grok, I was going to say what he said. Key statements, simplified. Blames the JCPOA. That was the Iran nuclear deal. He says if we hadn't terminated Obama's horrendous Iran nuclear deal, Iran would have had a nuclear weapon 3 years ago. He calls the 2015 deal a horrible, dangerous document that gave Iran a legal path to nuclear weapons. Says Biden's policies, releasing frozen money, sanctions relief, gave Iran billions in cash, which funded missiles, terrorism, and rebuilding.
None of this has to do with what I was talking about.
You can blame Barack Hussein Obama and sleepy Joe Biden. Hang on. We had to bomb Iran because Iran tried to build nuclear program.
See, this is all recent. That's recent stuff you're talking about.
All right, hold on. I'll put it in specifically. Give me the question you want me to add. Did President
put this. Actually, you know what? I'll put it here because I can put it up on the screen. Hang on.
Go ahead.
Let's do it like that. Yeah, let's just put it up on the screen right here. And what we're gonna do, come on. What we're gonna do, this person right here, how do you pronounce that, Jay? Dashenized said that he blasted Kamala Harris on 10/1/24 about it. Let me look and see what I can find real quick. But let's go to Grok. All right, so let me pull this up. Here's the screen. All right, come on, let's go up. What the hell is going on here?
Screen's frozen. It's moving now.
Oh, it's doing that stupid. God bless America. Let's put it up here
in the corner. There you go.
Yeah, it was putting it up in the damn corner for some. Oy. All right. Let's do this and let's ask Grok. Give me the quotes from let's see. Let's say 1980. Now give me the Trump quotes. Give me the Trump quotes from, we'll say 1980 to 2025 about going to war with Iran. Let's see what they say. Let's see if we can pull it up a little higher.
There you go. Let's see if I can see it.
Can you see it?
Yeah, it's working. I see it.
I mean, it's about up as high as it can go.
I see it.
Let's see. No, that's about the hostages. Where's the war stuff? Let's see.
During an Iran-Iraq war.
That'd be harsh. In order to get elected, Barack Obama will start a war with Iran. Our president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. He's weak. He's ineffective. The only way he figures he's going to get reelected is to start a war with Iran. Barack Obama will attack Iran to get reelected. Now that Obama's numbers are in a tailspin, watch for him to launch a strike in Libya or Iran. He is desperate. Remember what I previously said. Obama will attack Iran in order to show how tough he is. Let's see. 2025, 2016, nuclear. They shouldn't have a nuclear weapon. Yeah, we'll never be allowed to have a nuclear weapon. Yeah.
Don't read through those so fast. Read those.
That's got nothing to do with war. That's just him saying,
because
that's the nuclear weapon stuff.
No, but that's the reason he's saying we're doing what we're doing, because we can't allow them to have a nuclear weapon.
We've already destroyed that capability, I thought.
No, we hit they still have uranium.
But we destroyed their capability to refine it and turn it into a nuclear weapon.
But they were rebuilding and they were still producing uranium. They weren't stopping.
I don't know about that.
Yes, that's true.
Let's see. I'd like to see. I want to. Where's the Biden quotes at here?
Trump.
I'll say. Let's see. I want to see the Biden quotes. That's the main, because he was talking about Obama for a while, but I want to see the Biden quotes.
Yeah, ask specifically for Biden quotes.
Quotes on Biden starting war with Iran. Let's see what he had to say. Because, I mean, that's the one things I can't seem to find on X because they're all talking about, okay, here we go. Let's see. Biden will start a war with Iran because he is completely incapable of negotiating. He is weak and ineffective. So the only way he figures he's going to get elected is to start a war with Iran. Trump repeated the theme that a Biden presidency would lead to a war with Iran due to weakness. Let's see. Trump frequently claimed Biden's policies made Iran more aggressive, leading to attacks on Israel, yada, yada, yada. That's not got. Let's see. Trump accused the Biden administration of leading us on the brink of World War III, context Iran and Israel. And let's see. For full comment, blah, 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 blah. Where's all the good stuff? So most of this, it's like he said, for the last, I would say for the last 3 or 4 presidents, that he all says they're going to start a war with Iran. They're going to start a war with Iran because they're weak and they can't negotiate.
Did he not try to?
And they can't negotiate.
Did he not try to negotiate over and over again with Iran before going in? Over and over again. He did.
I don't know. I mean, what I can say is, he tried to negotiate, but if you're going to attack them, and first you're going to say all these things in the past that they're weak and they can't negotiate. So if you're trying to negotiate with them and they won't negotiate, does that mean you're a good negotiator or not?
No,
does
listen.
It fall back on you?
He tried to negotiate. They didn't do what he wanted. How many times did he say, "I'm going to do this if you don't come to the table"? If you don't come to the table, wouldn't come to the table.
What I don't understand is, and I'm a Trump supporter, but what I don't understand is why is it his choice for them to do whatever he wants them to do? Why did they have to do what he wants them to do?
Why? Because he doesn't
want
their
own country.
He's doing it in the best interest of the United States.
But they're their own country. What's that got to do with them?
What? Not allowing Iran to have a nuclear weapon. What do you mean?
No. I'm saying why when he's talking about, if you don't come to the table, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Why would they say, okay, I'm going to come to the table. I'm going to do what you want me to do? Well,
obviously they said no, and this is where they find themselves now.
And nothing has happened.
With their Navy, their whatever Air Force they had.
The deadline keeps getting moved down the road.
Destroyed. Well, listen. I'm at the point, Jack, where I would say end it completely and just finish this off.
He either needs to end it or back off. One or the other.
Well, he's not going to back off.
Then he needs to end it.
Maybe here's what I just said before I came in onto the show tonight. I said, if President Trump comes back and says, we have a deal that I can live with, that I think stops Iran's nuclear program completely, that allows inspections without all the other crap that was in the JCPOA, without the bad snapback provision, all that crap. If he comes back and says, we have a deal that we think ensures that they will not have a nuclear weapon, they will stop their ballistic missile program, they'll stop their drones, and the Strait of Hormuz will not ever be shut down again because they feel like it, I will have to go with it. I voted for the man 3 times. I will go with what he says at this point and hope for the best at that point. What else can we do?
So I'm saying at this point, Trump believes he's the president of Iran.
No, he's the president of the United States.
Yeah, but he can tell them to do whatever he wants them to do. So he's the president of Iran.
With use of force, yeah, he can.
Yeah, so he can say, all right, you know what? We're going to negotiate, but we're not going to give you anything, and you're going to give us everything.
Well, first of all, I don't want to give them a damn thing. I would say
that negotiation.
I would say this: you're lucky you still have a country. That's my negotiation. That's my negotiation. And usually negotiations work out like this.
No wonder why they don't want to negotiate. They don't get nothing.
Jack, I am not negotiating with terrorists.
Then why is he talking about negotiating?
Well, he's doing it because honestly,
that's not
like
negotiation.
You said, if he glassed the entire country like we would have to do,
the Democrats would throw him in prison.
Right. Well, not only that, it would be quote unquote war crimes. When was the last war?
So he's been handcuffed then. He can't attack them.
He's been, even handcuffed. He's brought them literally to their knees. That as far as we could see,
they're not opening the strait. They're not doing anything that
they open the strait for 2 weeks. If they don't open the strait in this agreement, they said they
can't bomb them. He will go to prison. The Democrats, as soon as he gets out of, you know that.
Wait a minute. They just agreed to the 2-week ceasefire proposal, which includes opening the strait.
Yeah.
If they don't open the strait, the ceasefire's over, and he's going to bomb. He's going to bomb the bridges he's allowed to bomb.
The Democrats will throw him in prison. The second he gets out.
I don't care. I don't care what the Democrats.
He cares. I'm sure he cares. The dude's in his 80s. Man.
I don't think he cares either. I really don't think he cares.
Would.
I don't think he cares because they could try to throw him in jail again.
That's why he keeps moving the deadline.
I don't think that's why. I think he's trying to move the deadline because he moves deadlines to negotiate a deal. That's how he's
You can't negotiate if you don't give up anything, man.
But we're not. What are we supposed? What do you think we need to give up to Iran?
I didn't say we need to give up anything. I'm saying you can't negotiate if you're not going to give up anything. That's not negotiation.
I'm giving up blowing you off the planet. That's what I'm doing.
Then why would they? You can't see. I think they know, and the reason they're not opening the strait, they might have agreed to this deal, but the reason they have closed the strait completely, the reason they're not doing anything Trump says, is because they know that if he were to do anything, and he knows this too, he would go to prison the second he got out of it. In fact, they might even impeach and remove him and then send him to prison. Because I will tell you right now, Jay, I'm telling you right now. No, and Deborah, you can say I sound like whatever you want. Doesn't matter. Because I'm just speaking the truth. The Democrats will send him to prison. That's not fallacy. That's not fake. And I'm not saying I support Iran. See, that's the problem with people. Anybody that disagrees or anybody that has any kind of alternate opinion than the mass opinion, the mass hysteria opinion, must agree with Trump, must agree with Trump. This is what happens. You're Candace, you're Tucker, you're Megan. Oh, because I don't agree with what's going on, I'm them. That must be the case.
And here's my other question, though. What else would you have us do? And I'm not just directing this at you. I'm saying in general. What else would people have us do if we didn't do anything right now? And then, like Marco Rubio stated himself, their drone capabilities, their ballistic missile capabilities, and their nuclear capabilities are at the point where the only way you stop these people, and we all agree they are complete lunatics, they aren't reasonable, they will use them if they can, they will hold them as a cudgel over the entire world. We know this at the very least.
Had almost 100 years to do this shit.
Wait, no. We haven't had 100 years. This regime
it's been 80 years since World War II. That was when nuclear capability first came about. They've known about it. They have time to try it for 80 years.
This regime has been in power for 47 years.
I'm talking about Iran in general. And 46 years is plenty of time. I'm
right,
talking
but
about Iran in general.
Closer and closer and closer because nobody's done anything about it.
And then we destroyed all their facilities, but we had to go in now. Now.
That's what the intelligence said. We have to go in now.
Then it's not very intelligent.
Why not? How do we know? I don't know, Jack. I don't.
If we destroyed all their nuclear capabilities, they can't refine that uranium into nuclear capabilities without the facilities. He said it will take 1 to 2 years to rebuild. Why do we have to go in now?
I don't want them to rebuild. I don't want them to.
They're not trying to rebuild yet.
Yeah, apparently they were, and apparently they moved a lot of the uranium before those facilities were bombed.
Well, who wouldn't? It's your country. If let's say they're bombing us. Let's say they're bombing us. Would we do the same thing?
Do what?
Move our uranium or whatever else it is.
If they tried to bomb us?
Yes, the same thing. No, reverse the positions.
Yeah.
Reverse the positions. If we were them and they were us and they were bombing us, would you not move your uranium too?
Oh, of course I would try, but
then what's the problem?
But if they were them,
this.
But hold on. I don't want to let them move it. You understand here? I don't want that country to have a nuclear weapon. It's bad enough that Russia has them. It's bad enough that it's bad enough that anybody has them. But these aren't, like we discussed, these aren't normal individuals who believe in neutral.
I understand that.
Okay.
But we did destroy their capability to refine uranium into nuclear weapons. They don't have that capability anymore.
But stop rebuilding it.
It takes a long time to rebuild that shit.
I don't care how long it takes. It's got to end. You can't do it.
Now, I'll tell you what. Why can't we just do it like this? Why can't we just do it like this? We see them rebuilding it, we blow it up again.
We tried that.
No, and we stopped. Every time they rebuild it, blow it up again.
No.
They're obviously not going to do shit to you if you do that.
We're good, Jack. We're good. We can't have eyes at every single place at every single minute of every single day.
We have plenty of CIA operatives in Iran. You better believe it.
This regime has to go, and I don't want to be there to install a regime. I really want the Iranian people to install the regime.
They need to install their own regime.
I agree with that. But for now, if the best we can do is put some people who are a little more reasonable and are willing to at least negotiate in good faith, fine, we try to go with that. Now, if this regime balks on this 2-week ceasefire and doesn't open the strait, yes, they will be bombed. And Jack, at a certain point, when do you say glass the entire place? When?
You can't. You cannot.
I'm saying militarily. You hit the military targets.
If you hit military, that's different. But you cannot hit something that is connected to military and civilian targets.
Yes, you can.
No. You can physically, but it's just not right to do that kind of thing.
You're allowed to do it. And I looked at this carefully.
So the Geneva Convention you can do it. You can do whatever the Geneva Convention deems legal.
No, proportionality has to be there.
There's no moral law.
No. Moral law. We're not dealing with moral people.
But we're moral people, right?
Yeah, well, we are, and that's why we don't aim for civilians, but we will hit targets that benefit their military. We don't. They're the ones telling their civilians to stand around targets as human shields.
They're not the same as we are, but we can't be the same as them, Jay.
They're not. I'm saying smash and glass their military targets, whether it's a power plant that aids their military, whether it's a bridge that they use to move their military around. Those are the things you destroy, and you make sure that they never come back. That's unless they say our nuclear program is dead, our ballistic missile program is dead. We're going to stop being the worldwide terror state of sponsor of terrorism. We're going to stop having proxies all over the world who are, bombing people, innocent civilians. They can care less about military
many countries altogether. I mean, you're talking about over 50 Muslim countries that all do this shit. But let's say for a second that we destroyed their nuclear capabilities, right?
Yeah.
We know based on just drone pictures that we can easily find any remnants of a nuclear capability. We have thermal imaging drones. That's how you find nuclear capabilities. All we have to do is just destroy it. In 2 years, when if they're trying to build it back up, destroy it. You don't have to go to war. Nobody has to die, and they're obviously not going to do anything about it. That's obvious.
So it's just continue like
why not?
But this is what President Trump. See, Jack, if President Trump was going to be the president for the next 50 years, okay, I would say he would do that. But he's not. Who's the next president going to be? You think that? Well, let's just say Pete Buttigieg is going to bomb Iran.
No, it's going to be Gavin Newsom.
But do you think Gavin Newsom, if God forbid we get a president, Gavin Newsom, do you think Gavin Newsom is going to do what you just said? No.
Oh yeah, Gavin Newsom, he will kill them all.
Oh please, yeah, with his hair gel, Gavin Newsom. Okay, that's also you got to take that into account. He's the president.
That's the problem. In America, we have no continuity of government.
Well, hold on. That is a whole nother argument. We just got to deal with what our reality is. And that is our reality. So we have a president that right now is willing to try and once and for all end this issue. Once and for all.
Then tell me, what happens if they just wait him out? What happens if they say, okay, we're not going to do this anymore? 3 years passes, he's gone, then they do it again. What's the difference?
There needs to be a deal put in place where I said there are.
How is that enforceable, though? When he's gone, how is it enforceable?
You have inspectors on the ground from several countries that are allowed there without having to ask permission. Unlike last time, without these snapback provisions that were weak, without all these things that allowed, and I went through that too. There's a bunch of problems with that JCPOA. Okay,
there's tons. But the problem, Jay, here is negotiation. Okay, they're expecting all these countries expect Iran just to give up their country to do whatever the hell you want with. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't do this. You can't go there. You can't close that. But they're not going to get anything out of this deal. So it's not negotiation. And B, they know that if Trump bombs them, he will be in prison the second he gets out of the Democrats will throw him. I'm not saying I want to see him in prison. I'm saying the Democrats will throw him in prison.
My point is this, that regime, here's what happens to them. Here's what you guys get. You get to live. Now, if you don't want to live, we'll make sure you don't. If you guys want to go back on the deal, then we believe you really don't want to live.
All they have to do is wait him out.
72
That's all they have to do.
But if we have the provision where we're allowed in to inspect, to make sure, Jack, the rest of the world doesn't think that Iran should have nuclear weapons. The rest of the civilized world.
Then why isn't the rest of the world doing this shit?
Well, great question. Awesome question right there. And that's why we don't belong in NATO anymore. And that's why I think a new NATO needs to be formed, or a new alliance with the United States in certain countries. We talk about them all the time. Vice President Vance was in Hungary today. Poland.
They don't do shit, man.
Well, whatever. Maybe a new thing. And the UN is UN useless. They're useless. It's the UN useless.
Well, it's actually us. We are the UN and NATO. Not only do we do everything, but we fund everything.
It's garbage. So I really don't care about what the Democrats want to do with President Trump when he gets out of office.
But that's worrisome, though. He's got to worry about that. He's 81, 82 years old. When he gets out, he's going to be 84. Yep. Imagine if they throw him in prison at 84 years old. Do you want to die in prison?
I say good luck, and I think they won't be able to do it because he's not doing anything wrong. This is all hyperbole.
No, I'm saying if he bombs those people.
Yeah, if he bombs them, but I said, Jack, if he bombs facilities that have dual purpose and the proportionality is there, where they're used for military purposes.
I'm not saying it's a problem for me, Jay. Jay, I'm not saying it's a problem for me. I'm saying the Democrats, they look for any reason to throw this man in prison. That is a big reason.
He knows that.
That's a big reason.
But I respect even more the fact that he's willing to do this then, because
But he's not willing to do it. That's why it keeps getting pushed down the line.
Jack, they want to throw him in prison for what he's already done.
Yeah, but see, those are weak reasons. If he bombs a military facility that's connected to a civilian facility, the Democrats will have all the reason they need. The Republican faction is already split in half. They're split in half.
Not in Congress, they're not. The Republicans are squarely behind the president.
I'm talking about the voters.
I'm not worried about that. That's a different discussion.
You will be.
Different discussion. And I think when we talk about that, the midterms are different. When it comes to the presidency, I don't know where all these people that are breaking off. You are allowed to disagree. The fact that these people have completely flipped to the point where they're asking about war crimes.
No. Hang on.
I got a question if you're getting paid, number one, or if you're just zero loyalty or anything.
No. Hang on.
Anything? Do you believe in anything?
Jay. The thing is, they're not talking about he has war crimes right now. Okay, they're saying that if these things were done, they would be war crimes. And I'm not saying they're war crimes, but the Democrats, you got to think about it in terms of your enemy. What will your enemy do if you do such a thing? He doesn't the country is not his only enemy.
I don't think he cares. And I don't
he
think
will.
That's why he
and I think that's why it keeps moving down the line.
I disagree. I think he moves it down the line because he actually wants to come to a deal. He also wants the people of that country to have a country left to actually maybe take over. That's also true. That is why he got pissed when Israel, I think they hit it. It was something, a target, an energy target that Israel hit without his permission, which again, he's not being run by Israel. And he said, what the hell are you doing?
That's another discussion.
No, I don't believe that President Donald Trump gets run by anybody. We had Roger Stone on the program, who's known him for 50 years. And he said to us, nobody tells him what to do. And I think it's pretty evident that nobody tells him what to do, because a lot of people say,
we'll talk about that at a later date.
Okay, we will. But my point is, he also wants there to be a country left for the people to take over.
Yeah, but you also at some point have to worry about yourself. You don't want to die in prison.
Jack, if he really worried about himself that much, I don't think he ever would have run again. Because
I'm talking about dying in prison. That's a whole nother subject.
He's not going to prison. He's not going to prison.
Look, okay, let's put it this way. The Democrats, first of all, if they win the midterms, and let's say, because the Republicans are divided, half of them are not even going to vote. So the Democrats will most likely run the House and the Senate. So let's say they do.
That's another discussion.
No, hold on. Let's just, for an instance, a hypothetical, say they do, okay?
Yeah.
They will remove him immediately, and they will convict him and remove him as a president immediately. They'll impeach, and then they'll convict immediately. Okay, so that's the first thing. Then they will prosecute him. Okay?
Okay.
He will be prosecuted, and if he ends up going to prison, if he does this, he knows. Right now, there's no good reason that he can send him to prison. They can try, and they will still try, but there's no good reason. But if he even hits one civilian, they will give them all the firepower they need.
But you mean if a civilian dies in a bombing? I mean, it's a war. It happens.
Yeah, but you're not thinking like they think, Jay.
Oh, I am, and I know, Jack. They're going to try to put him in prison anyway. Regardless.
Yeah, but see, the more ammunition they have, the easier it is to explain.
I don't think they think rationally, Jack. I mean, I think you're giving them too much credit. I really do. I think you're actually trying to think like, oh, if he does this, I might have a case here. They don't even think like that, Jack. They want to throw the man in prison for breathing.
Yeah, that's the problem. The midterms, and we'll talk about this at a later date also. The midterms, I mean, we have got to come together, and I'm going to tell you why we're not coming together. It's people that are automatically throwing these people away that were in the MAGA, or they don't have to be in the MAGA. Who cares if they're in the MAGA? If they're in the Republican side and will vote for Republicans, they are on your side. It doesn't matter what they say.
That's fine.
They have a vote. You can't just kick them out.
Who's kicking him out? I'm not kicking him out.
Everybody, even Deb, a few seconds ago, Deb said, "Oh, you're just like let's see, where is it? I want to put this out. Oh, you sound just like Tucker and Candace right now. WTF? And I'm not saying this about Deb, but 90% of the people on the MAGA side are thinking the same way. So they want them out. They're not a part of their faction anymore. They're not a part of the Republicans anymore. And they can feel that, Jay, with every word you say, with every, oh my God, I hate Tucker Candace. I hate Megyn Kelly. Every one of their listeners are no longer going to vote for who you want. I am telling you, we are dividing ourselves. The Democrats, they come together because of hate. Okay. They have a specific unifying force. That is hate. We have no specific unifying force. Our force was to make sure that the Democrats don't win. Now that we are dividing ourselves and kicking Republicans out because our beliefs don't align with them, we are killing our own votes.
I don't think they're being kicked out. I think it's almost I look at it in amazement almost. Like I said, like, what made you flip like this? And
but Jay, that's the thing. I'm not talking about that. If they flip, that's fine. But they still have a Republican vote. Saying that they're not a part of your faction, they're not a part of, we want nothing to do with you. That's not going to help you get the win.
Here's my thing. If they're
Can't they have an opinion?
But absolutely they could have an opinion. But my point is, it's kind of fickle to me when you completely flip. You can disagree, but then when you start pushing Democrat talking points and propaganda, that's
give me an example of what you're talking about.
Alex Jones today looks like war crimes. We might have war crimes about the tweet. Like, dude, what?
If it happens, is what he's saying.
What the hell are you talking about? But I'm saying though, Jack, those are Democrat talking points from Alex Jones. Really? That's what I mean. It's going a little bit too far.
Well, here's what I want. But they're listeners, Jay.
But let me get to that.
They're voters.
I think a lot of them, the Tuckers, the Tucker Carlsons, the Megyn Kellys, I think they've almost become like union heads, where we know in the unions in our country, right? The union heads are all Democrats, right? They're all Democrats. But what does their rank and file do? Now they're kind of voting Republican. I almost feel like these people are union heads. Like, oh, why is it? But I think a lot of people that listen to them like, okay, I could disagree with the president, but I'm not turning on him.
But discarding these people, discarding them, Jay,
I'm not discarding anybody. I'll take their vote, Jack. You got to vote against Democrats.
No, you can't take their vote, turn around and call them traitors and say they're shitty people. You can't do that. They won't do it, Jay. That's kicking them out.
I disagree that MAGA dies with Trump. It doesn't die with Trump. MAGA is actually the Republican Party.
I don't know why you're talking. What are you talking about? Dies with Trump? We're not talking about MAGA.
Somebody just put a comment. U.S. citizen MAGA.
Well, what I'm saying is, if you kick these people out, if you call them traitors, if you say, we hate you, you're traitors, you are not going to get their vote or any of their, because their own listeners are going to think, oh, everybody's calling us traitors because we believe this.
Well, then who?
Let them have their own opinions. Why kick them out and ruin their votes? You're not going to get anything out of that.
Hold on. They're allowed to call the president and MAGA all of these things, but we can't say they're a traitor. It doesn't mean I kick you out.
You can call them whatever you want.
I didn't kick you out. I'm calling you a name.
I'm calling
you a name. And I'm not saying me.
You don't want to do?
I'm not saying me. I'm just saying if somebody calls them a traitor, that didn't kick him out. I just think you're being a traitor right now. How's that?
Yes, but that right there, that word traitor means that you are no longer a part of our reality. We no longer want you. That's what you're saying. And what you're saying to them, if you don't want them, you don't want their listeners. If you don't want their listeners, you don't want their votes. Jay, we are already divided, man.
Oh, wait. So that means they're going to let they're going to let Democrats win?
Yes.
That's where I'm confused. Well, then they're
you listen. You know
yes. Then you know what? Then you cut off not you. Then they cut off their nose to spite their face. And
but Jay, you guys are doing the same thing. You guys are doing the same thing.
No, it's not. Then you could really have something to complain about, because I could disagree with something that one of them says. Yeah. I'll tell you this: when it comes down to it, you better vote against Democrats. Maybe that's what we need to just be that simple. How the Democrats are. It's hate, right? They hate. And it's anti-Trump. Anything MAGA, we hate it. We vote against it. At this point, Republicans, you can hate things MAGA say or this or that.
That's the thing. MAGA is not Republicans.
But you better vote against Democrats.
That's the thing right there.
Or else, right, you're going to have a lot more to complain about, and they will see you guys as the useful idiots that put them in power. And you know what happens to useful idiots? They're the ones that get hit first. I'm just saying. Now, we don't have to agree, but we do agree that Democrats cannot run this country. So, Jack, that's where I'm perplexed by how far that. Here's the thing. I'm perplexed by how far they are going.
But they never said they weren't going to vote Republican or anything. But
Yeah,
when
well,
you say MAGA, listen, MAGA is not Republicans. MAGA is a faction in the Republicans. Okay?
I tend to think it's more the Republican Party now, and it should be.
No, yeah, well, it's not the Republican Party. It's a faction because there's a lot of people that aren't MAGA that still vote for Republicans because they're regular Republicans. But I'm going to tell you right now that kicking out anybody that's not MAGA, you will never win another election.
I'm not doing that. I just want to know why they're saying that.
That's fine. If you want discourse, if you want to say why, but you can't call them, hey, I hate you guys. You guys are traitors. Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, Tayron Tucker. That's not going to help you.
Tayron Tucker is my name for him, and I think it's
that is not going to help you.
But Jack, the things he is saying,
that's fine. He's got his own opinion.
Like a propagandist, and that's my issue.
I understand.
Where is this coming from? Where is this coming from?
There you go. Ask the questions, but there's no need to call the names. That is how you lose that faction.
Wait a minute. So now all of a sudden we're worried about name calling?
No. I'm talking about them in terms of votes, Jay. In terms of you want your agenda to win. You want your agenda to win. But yet half of the people that aren't MAGA, which is probably at least a third of Republicans, the people that are not MAGA and the people that question this or say things that you might find extreme, they would still vote for Republicans because Trump's not going to be the next president anyway. They would still vote for it. But if you make them hate you enough, call them names, this and that, why would they do that?
But then Jack, again, they're cutting off their nose to spite
you
their
guys
face.
Are doing the same thing.
What do you mean?
You're
not
saying
doing anything.
You're saying you hate them.
I support what's going on.
You're cutting off your nose to spite your face.
No, I'm not. Jack, I get called names all the time now. I get called an Israeli shill.
Are you called a traitor? Are you called? People say they hate you.
I get called everything in the book. Does that mean I'm not going to vote because
No. Is the largest party in the Republican Party kicking you out and saying you're a traitor and they hate you?
Who's kicking anybody out?
MAGA party is no longer wants these people. And I can understand.
I want their vote.
But see, that's the thing. If you want their vote, you can't treat them a certain way, man.
I'll take their vote, but I think a lot of things they've said are disgusting. Now, one person that we know, Nick Fuentes has said, vote for Democrats. That guy's
different. That's different.
Flat out come out and said, vote for Democrats, don't vote for Republicans in the midterms. Now, that, again, off the reservation.
That's different.
A complete fraud who came, I don't believe anything that guy ever said.
No, that's different. If he says that shit, he's the kind of guy you can kick out.
He said it. So he's out. Okay. We'll agree. He's out. But when it comes to people like Tucker, when it comes to people like Megyn Kelly, when it comes to people, I forgot the other one we were just talking about, but
there was Candace Owens and all.
Candace Owens.
Real quick. Go ahead.
But Jack, she's basically calling Trump like a disaster. This is a disaster. Hey, Candace, how about this, Jack? How about this from these people? You're the ones who are saying the Marjorie Taylor Greens. You're the ones who are saying you hate this. Can you at least come out and say, but that doesn't mean I want Democrats to win? I have not heard that out of their mouth.
But they will not say what they won't do.
I want to hear.
They have not said, Jay. They have not said, oh, I hate MAGA now. But MAGA says, you hate me. Is what they're saying, is what's happening. And what's going to happen is if you want their votes, Jay, you can't treat them like Democrats.
I'm not treating them like Democrats. I just these are the people
Not you personally. I'm talking about the MAGA in general.
But Jack, how many times, again, and I like you too, U.S. citizen. We're all good.
No, wait, before you say something, Jay, this is not, we are friends, Jay and I, and anybody that's watching this show, we talk and we have, we can have disagreements and we can talk. We are not, if you hate one of us because of our opinions, then that's your own problem, because we have disagreements and we talk and we're allowed to. That's America. Okay, this is not a show where I should just agree with Jay every fucking thing he says. It's not a show where Jay should agree with me in every fucking thing I say.
No, you should agree with me, Jack.
Yeah, see, and that's the only way I can please everybody is if I agree with you. But that's not America. I mean, if you want to do that, go to Iran. That's where they force you to agree.
No, listen. I think the rhetoric, and Candace Owens has called basically President Trump a Satanist. She has. That's what I mean. She's allowed to say that, and I'm not allowed to tell Candace Owens to go to hell.
That doesn't mean she's not going to vote Republican.
Well,
though.
but how about this, Candace? Come out and say, but Jack, when are they going to start talking about the Democrats again? All they do is talk about Trump. They sound like Democrats. All they do is go after the president. When you could say all the Democrats are trying to do is wreck the effing country. Can you say something? Can you at least try to bring it back to me a little bit, Jack? I'm not saying, again, I'm not, when I say Jack, I don't direct this at Jack. I'm saying these people.
Yeah, same with you. When I say you, I don't mean you.
Exactly. So my point is, can they at least bring it back a little bit when they speak? Because I'm hearing none of that. I'm hearing them say they're abandoning Jack. I'm hearing them saying it without exactly saying it, because they never go after Democrats anymore. It's all President Trump. It's all Israel. It's all Zionists. It's all they killed Charlie Kirk. It's enough. It's enough. Can you guys at least once a week, maybe in your shows, say, hey, we might not like this, but it doesn't mean we're voting for Democrats, and you better get your ass out in the midterms. We say it on this show all the time, Jack. We say you better get your ass out in the midterms, whether you like it or not, everything that's going on.
That's the thing. You've got to get out in the midterms, but if you ridicule these people enough, where, I mean, just because they criticize Trump, let's say they hate Trump.
That
does not mean they hate Republicans. But if you criticize them enough, if you kick them out of the MAGA party just because they don't like Trump, then you're cutting off your own nose to spite your face. That's what you're doing.
Listen.
And not you. I'm talking in general.
That. Can you agree with me, though? Do you agree? Where can at least once in a while these people bring it back to the fact that we still hate Democrats and know they can't win? Can I hear that once? Can I hear that once in a while?
No, that would be nice, but I would take them saying I'm still going to vote Republican, though.
Thank you.
If they would say that would be fine.
Where is it? Because you're right, Jack, you're right. It's divided, and these are the people that went a different direction, which they're entitled to.
They're allowed to.
I just said they're entitled to do that. But at the same time, can you guys once in a while just say what the Democrats, how freaking bad they are and what they'll do if they win? Can I hear that once a week, please? And maybe Jack, maybe it'll take a little bit of the sting off.
It might actually. And that's the thing, though, with all the ways that MAGA is stinging them, they don't want to take the sting off either. It's an immovable object meeting how the hell does it go? Immovable object meeting an unstoppable force. That's what's happening here. And if one of you guys don't stop, if one of you sides don't relent a little bit, the Democrats are going to win every single thing.
Well, I know I'm going out and voting, Jack, and I'm voting Republican.
Me too. I'm voting Republican.
I know that. And here's the thing. I didn't sting them first. They not me. They stung first. They're the ones
they didn't sting MAGA. They did not sting MAGA.
If you sting the president, you're stinging MAGA.
That's the problem. That's the problem.
But that's what it is. But the president is the face of MAGA.
But you can't want the Republicans to win if every time they sting the Trump, that it's stinging 2/3 of Republicans.
That's fine. I could say that you're like, if Tehran Tucker, I call him Tehran Tucker, right? I could say you're an idiot right now, Tucker Carlson. But Tucker Carlson, can you say you might think I'm an idiot, but at least at the same time telling me you're going to go out and vote for Republicans? Can I hear it?
It's not a harsh word. When you say traitor, that is a very harsh word.
He can call me a traitor.
I don't care. Hate,
I don't care.
That is a very harsh word.
Sticks and stones. Sticks and stones. That's Democrats.
Not in this day and age. In this day and age, words hurt more than sticks and stones.
That's got to stop, because that's what we could accuse Democrats of all the time. All of a sudden, Tucker's going to tuck and run, no pun intended, because he was called a traitor.
Now that's a good nickname.
Tuck and run. There you go. All right, Jack, I know we got a couple of things we got to take care of.
Oh, shit. Yeah, let's do it. I'm sorry. We've been so interested in this. This is a good topic. We should have done the whole damn hour and a half. We should have done that. Anyways, guys, make sure, please, if you get a chance, make sure you check out maxassociates.etsy.com. It really is the best patriotic apparel place and USA Pride gifts. It is awesome. You get 20% off any order of $20 or more, free shipping anywhere in the United States. It really is an awesome place, because it's something that even Jay and I, buy from, because the stuff that they have is just really cool. I mean, it's not stuff that you find everywhere else. What did I say? What was the flag that I ordered? It said support the country you live in, or live in the country you support. Beautiful. Exactly. I mean, that's beautiful.
Exactly. And listen, that's a
Absolutely
great
love it.
deal. 20% off plus free shipping. That is an awesome deal.
Isn't it
Awesome.
amazing? And that's even just for a $20 order, you get 20% off. And so, yeah, maxassociates.etsy.com. Make sure you guys check that out. Also, be sure to subscribe and follow us on X, YouTube, Rumble, Kick, Instagram, not TikTok, except for Jay's, which is opinions vary with the A, same as like the X and all that. Opinions vary with an A. But not Secret America, because they banned us for, showing our regular videos. It's absolutely insanity at TikTok. I don't know what the hell goes on over there. Even after Larry Ellison bought it, who's Elon Musk's friend, who you would think would be for free speech, it's still banning people for free speech. I don't know what the hell's going on over there. Anyways, this has been a great. See, this right here has been a great. And Deborah says, great show. We still love you guys, and that's great because I still love all the Republicans, MAGA. I consider myself America first. I don't know if that's considered to be MAGA. I don't know if that's considered to be. I don't know. There's so many different factions in the Republicans right now. That's the problem. Okay, so but we love all you guys. So there's no hard feelings here. When this show ends, there is no hard feelings. We just talk to each other. We're friends. We're going to go back to talking tonight and tomorrow morning. So for Jay Gatling, I am Jack Danger. Thank you for watching Secret America.
You've been listening to Secret America.